Hey folks, Chase CAA back again, So I wanted to do a market watch video. This will be our first market watch video for the One Piece card game, Card Addicts Anonymous. This is OPO1. This is the first set. If you're new to One Piece, if you're watching this video, you're probably not, but if you are, this is the first set from One Piece. So when I started collecting, let me just give a quick rundown here. When I started collecting the Japanese One Piece sets. I came around maybe in OP03, I want to say it was, when I first got into the One Piece card game. And they were pretty cheap. Remember at the time I was able to buy them on Amazon, like per box. I could get a booster box for like $40, $45. That was about the price of it. And then I remember like when the OPO1 came out in English, I wanted to get some booster boxes of it, and it was expensive. It was being scalped, like Pokemon cards type of thing. But it was so hot because it was brand new and all this stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm probably never gonna play the game. At the time, I just wanted to collect the cards. I thought the artworks were incredible, and they are. The artworks in the One Piece card game are absolutely stunning. We all know that. So this, I don't understand this. For one box, so if you don't know, when Romance Dawn came out, the bottom of the box was blue, very much like the outside of the box here that you can see, right? When they sold out of this, they realized the demand was so high that they reprinted it, and they reprinted it with a white bottom of the box. And so these are like the Series 1, I guess, or whatever you call them, like first edition. I don't think they have a stamp on them or anything that would dictate that that's what they are. But the booster box itself, people collect unopened product, right? And that's its own thing. That's its own kind of collecting and this and that. And I'm fine with people like that. You know, I don't care for it. I have some unopened product, not a lot, and I don't collect booster boxes unopened. I'm a card addict. I have to open stuff. I open things. That's my thing. I need to open constantly, you know? So having a booster box like this, I would have opened it. I have no self-control when it comes to opening cards. But I understand people who do collect, you know, and invest for the future. It's smart. It's smart. Think if you had bought a case of Pokemon cards, you know, back in whatever it was, the early 2000s, late 90s, and if you had that today, you'd be you know, $500,000 richer, right? So I do understand that people are doing that, and I think One Piece is going to go a very long way and be the next Pokemon. I think Pokemon, to me, Pokemon is dead, dude. Maybe it'll come back, and you know, I say that every time, and then I still buy the dang things. So, but that's only when I can't get One Piece. So, anyway, $1,500, pretty insane. I'm not sure why it's that much. People are trying to sell it for that much. You can get an unopened box for 12, 13, 29. So not too bad. Not too bad. Market value, market price right now is $1,222.09. So you can see a very steep rise since February. We can go the whole year. Let's go to a year graph here. So if you bought it a year ago, you'd be doubled your value by now, right? Imagine if you had bought it here, you'd be here, you know? So you could have quadrupled, you know, 6 times your value of your unopened product there. So pretty smart deal. You probably should have done that. People should do that. I do understand it. It is what it is. I don't like when people buy stuff and then resell it instantly and scalp it. I don't like that. I understand this. I understand this. Maybe I'm going to get into this. I don't know. We'll see. But so this is the blue bottom. This is like the holy grail right now, right, of One Piece. Is the first set. So I understand why that's expensive. Here's the set wave 2, the white bottom OP01 box, $417. Now that makes more sense when you look. We're going to look at the prices of the single cards in a second here. And that's why I don't understand why this one is so expensive, right? $1,500. When this one is only $417, but you know, I get it. If you're collecting an unopened product, you want like the original one, you know, Whoopty Womp. I get it. That's cool. Great. 14-14-04. A lot of fours in there, but a lot of fours. So this kind of took a nice little scooperoo up to the top where it's at now. I don't foresee it going down anytime soon, and if anything, it's just going to keep climbing. So if you have your unopened product, don't sell now. There's a little dip right here. I see this little dip at the top there. It ain't going to be forever, guys. That's probably going to go boom, boom, and bump up again as soon as popularity for One Piece grows and grows and grows, which I think it will. But this makes more sense when you look at this. So we're going to look at the price guide for Romance Dawn. And these are the most expensive prices first. So you're looking at the parallel Shanks manga here, right? Market value $851. So you're paying half of what the best card you could pull out of it is for your booster box. Still, I think still expensive, still not worth it. The chances of you pulling this manga rare are very low, you know. But the original mangas, you know, in PRB01, we're going to look at that in a little bit later. The mangas from the original boxes are much higher quality, to be honest. They're much higher quality. Yeah. So the deepness of the embossing and stuff of the manga parts of the card and the texture and stuff are far superior to the reprints of the same thing. So I understand why this would command the price, and it's the first one. It's the first one, right? It's the first one. You can see you're much more likely to pull a leader card, or leader card, parallel leader card. So you're looking at almost or $350 market price for Roanoa Zoro, who especially right now is really good in the game, and he's pretty meta. I would put him in like top 5 in my meta list. Maybe I'll make one in the future. And you got Law, not a playable leader in my opinion, but just a cool card. People like it, and it's $271. Monkey D. Luffy. So you're seeing, and then you get a pretty steep decline when you pass Doflamingo. Even though Doflamingo is probably I would say he's better than Zoro in my opinion. Maybe they're neck and neck, 2 and 3 in the meta right now, at least in the United States. This parallel Nami card also, of course, Nami, her giant bazongas. People are going to want this card. You know, waifu tax on the card. So I get that. Monkey D. Luffy, the first monkey leader card, you know, or Luffy leader card, $214. Sounds about right to me. Then you go down the list. There's a lot of good cards in here, still playable cards, you know. Of course, when we get that the block blocking, when they block the cards, you see the little 1 at the bottom of the card here. See if I can swoop right there. That means that's in block 1. In June of next year, they will be stopping use of these cards in gameplay. So it'll change the whole meta. It's gonna be an interesting time. We'll see how people take to that. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. To be honest, it might be detrimental for the card game, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we do need a change. You know, you've had Don Quixote since he came out being like top of leaderboards. It needs to at least after like OPO 6, he's been just destroying, you know, the leaderboards. And you don't want to see the same guy on every top 5 for the rest of the game's lifespan. So I get it, dude. I get it. But a lot of cool cards in OPO1. We're not going to do this for every set. I just wanted to kind of go through and make at least sense in my head why someone would pay $1,500 for a box of this. It just, you know, to me, it makes no sense, you know. Like, at least if you're buying like a $30,000 box of like Pokemon first edition Shadowless cards or whatever, you could pull that Charizard. In fact, there's a pretty decent chance you're going to pull that Charizard out of there. And then you get it graded at 10 and you're looking at, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes sense in some way. It's some sick way, but it's some way. Let's move on. Let's move on to OPO2. So I left this one open right here because we got all of them right here up until like PRB. So we'll get through boom, boom, boom. And then I got all the other ones lined up here that we'll go through after that. We got Paramount War, OPO2. not the best set, I would say. Cards, there's some playable stuff in there, but it's not huge, and I can see why it's only worth $217. Is that going to go up? I think so. Let's look at the graph. Yes, it is going to go up. You can see, you know, it's on a pretty steep incline here over the last 3 months, and I think it's going to keep going up. It's plateaued a little bit, but I think the game is going to get bigger and bigger, and people are going to want, especially like sealed product of the older sets. It is what it is. The same thing happens with Pokemon, with everything. So I think these are good investments at $217. I don't know if I would invest in it now. Maybe at the 160s, 150s where it was a couple months back. We could look at the year, see what that was like. See, well, this is alarming. But it's coming back, and I think it'll reach this 400 at some point in the near future, maybe towards like November or something. It could climb back up. But either way, I think you know, at the lowest lows that it was, I think that would have been a good investment. At this point, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Let us go back here and have a look at OP03, Pillars of Strength. I did not open a lot of this set. I did open a lot in Japanese, but I ended up buying a lot of these singles for my master sets in Japanese, and not my favorite set. Not my favorite set. Not my favorite set. Yeah, just not my favorite set. Still a cool set. It would still be cool to have one of these in English sealed. I know at some point, if I ever get rich enough, that I'm going to want to have all this stuff, and I will probably end up buying all this stuff. So it is what it is. Kingdoms of Intrigue, OP04, $191. As you can see, the newer the set, the less they're going to be worth until we get to a certain point, and then there's stipulations on those products and why they're so expensive. So it's climbing. Let's see what the year looked like. Yep, so it came up from 198, and then it took this crazy. I mean, that would be a nuts roller coaster right there, wouldn't it? It took a crazy turn, and now it's coming back up. I think it's going to surpass this 1 year high very soon, to be honest. So, you know, if you invested at 120 or whatever it was, 120, 115, money all day, guys. That's money all day. OP05, one of my favorite sets. This was the first set that I bought in English. I wish I had bought them all in English. I had the chance to when they were pretty cheap, and I never did. And I regret it to this day, to be honest. You know, it's weighing on my mental health, and I wish I had bought some of these when I had the chance. But I bought a couple boxes of this from Loot Box, and they sold it to me at cost when people were scalping for like $400. And I told him I'm going to open them, and he sold them to me. And this started my real addiction to One Piece and trying to learn how to play the game and understand it and all this stuff. So OP05 has a special place in my heart, and it'll always be the box that started it all for me. Of course, you have Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5 manga card, and that is skyrocketing in price. I don't know if it'll have it on here. No, but I want to say it's around like $1,500. So that's going to always keep this box pretty healthy in the price range, and it's going to be, yeah, it's climbing, and it's going to keep climbing. I think they should reprint it, to be honest. And then maybe I'm being biased because I want to buy more of it, but I think they should. I think they will too at some point, maybe reprint that set. EBO2 or EBO1. The first extra booster memorial collection. So this is expensive because they had a shortage of the product. They didn't print as much as any of the extra boosters are going to be. They're not going to be printed as much as the normal sets. So, of course, supply demand. They're going to raise prices. $309 is expensive, but a lot of the cards in here are really good in the game, and they're expensive on their own. Just like an SR Cavendish is like $50, $55, and that's just the normal SR. That's not the RR. That's not the parallel. You know, there's a lot of cards in here that are worth a good amount of money. So it makes sense. It makes sense. And we look at the 1 year, that's climbing. It's kind of dipped a little bit. Not sure why it dipped like this, but I think it'll come back up eventually. I remember when it came out, people didn't like the set. They didn't like the cards. They didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. I bought a bunch of them. I almost master setted the Japanese set, and then that's when I kind of stopped collecting Japanese. I would still open a box here and there when I was bored, but that's kind of where I stopped there. Then we got this. This has been my favorite set until recent memory, to be honest. I think this is the coolest thing. They reprinted a lot of cards. They had those God packs, the chase for the God packs. They had, you get like 8 hits in every box. I mean, this is the coolest idea and the coolest box that you could buy, especially at the time. And I still think to this day, I'm looking forward to EBO 2, but this is the bee's knees right here, guys. $280. That is not the bee's knees. That's upsetting. That is painful. That's disgusting. That's rough. That's rough. I didn't pull a manga out of here, not a single one. And I pulled a lot of other cool stuff, really cool stuff out of here, but never pulled that. But I was buying these boxes for like $110 all day when I was buying them. I must have opened 15 of these boxes, maybe 20 boxes. Then I opened another like 20 in Japanese too. So really fun times opening these boxes. That brings back memories. I wish I had kept one sealed. As you can see, they are climbing in value rapidly. Remember when it came out, it was super expensive. This is when I bought. This is when I bought in. Right here. Boom. Boom. Bought a bunch of boxes in this small time frame here. But anyways, very cool. Very cool. Wish you could still get these at MSRP, but they don't print them anymore, so it is what it is. PRBO 2, I'm sure that's coming out probably this year. That'll be insane and very, very cool. Very curious to what they're going to reprint in that set. That should be very fun. I think that's all we're going to look for on this page. Now, 06 Wings of the Captain. Let's have a look at them. Not a huge sought-after set, but $138. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. That's above MSRP, and it's because this set's probably being out of print now, and it's gonna get harder and harder to get. And it is a cool set. I don't dislike the set. It's got all the Thriller bark. It's one of my favorite arcs in the series, and there's a lot of cool cards in here. The Sanji manga cards are incredible. It's an awesome set. Look at the price range that we've had here. 160. Boom! Tank to 85, 80. I remember when you could get these for like $90 on Amazon all day. And I did. I probably opened 12, 13, something like that. 12 packs of this at least. But 140 market. It's about right. When they stop printing the boxes, they're going to get more expensive. And as much as this isn't a super sought after set, it's got cool cards in it. Don't get me wrong. There's some cool ones in there. OPO7 has one of the most expensive manga cards still. I want to say Boa is somewhere near the $1,000 range, maybe a little less. But if you get like a 10, CGC, Black Label or something, and you're looking at like, a lot of money when you're looking at something like that. $117, that is a decent price for an unopened box of OPO7. I don't think they're printing this set anymore. There's probably a lot of it still out there. It was a very popular set when it came out. They had those really cool leader cards in it. I bought it in around here. I remember paying $100 for these boxes all day. And they're still $114, still pretty low. But it's going to climb as these get harder and harder to find. You're going to be looking at $200 plus on these boxes within the next year, I think, in my opinion. It is what it is. Two Legends, probably the least popular set they've released so far. Two Legends, $91. It's probably still somewhat in print, or there's still so much of it out there that they can't sell them. I remember buying these on Amazon for like $75, $80. I'd buy like 3 of them at once and crack them. This is the only manga I ever pulled was the Silver's Rayleigh. I actually pulled it in Japanese though. I've never pulled an English manga. Believe it or not, all the packs that I've opened, thousands and thousands of packs I've probably opened in. This is the one I pulled. Really cool manga card. I sold it to a guy and he sent it in for CGC grading and got a 9.5. That poor son of a gun. I feel so bad for him. It was in immaculate condition. I have no idea what they saw wrong with it, but it is what it is. Sold it to him. I actually traded him a bunch of really expensive Pokemon cards for it, and I'm glad I did because I sold those cards and made like double what I was gonna make just selling the cards. So, but yeah, it's climbing still. It's climbing. Eventually, it'll be over $100, probably within a month or two, I would say. And at one point, when it first came out, super expensive, getting scalped, and then Boom to the bottom. That, see this? That's when I was buying it. Poof, 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 poof. Bunch of boxes right there. Probably all throughout this whole time here. I was still buying them at $90, $100. I think it's a fun box to open. There's some cool cards in there, some really playable cards to this day. So very cool set, I think. I haven't found a set I hated in this yet. This was a huge set. The special booster pack to commemorate the 2nd anniversary of One Piece card game, the 2-year anniversary. Emperors in the New World had a four different mangas you could pull. I didn't pull one of them somehow in all the boxes I opened, but I will not pay over MSRP for a box of One Piece personally. So especially if I'm gonna crack it open, so I try to get my boxes in when I can, when they're cheap, and that's it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pay pre-release prices, and I'm not gonna pay post-release prices. You got to get your cards when you can. Buy your singles. You know, singles are always better than buying a box, but I like to take the risk. I like the gamble. I like the fun of opening boxes. And now I'm opening with all of you guys. It's like I'm not opening them alone. I'm opening them with thousands of people online. It's super fun for me. So, but anyway, $183. I think that's a fair price. This is no longer in print right now. They're very hard to get. You won't find them at any local game stores anymore. And if you do buy them, if they're under $130, buy them and open them. It's a great set to open. A lot of cool cards in here. Beautiful set. I really enjoyed this set. One of my favorite sets. And it's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. I can see it. Look, it's already surpassed the original amount that it started out as. It's surpassed it. So I think this is going to go up to $200 easily, maybe $250, $260 by the end of the year. I wouldn't doubt it. Then we got Royal Blood, the newest set that just come out, still in print, still all over the place. Most card stores will have this in stock. Excellent set. I really love this set. I had a great time opening this set. Yeah, it's just been a great set. It's going on decline, but this is the decline every set sees. Boom, when it comes out, it's really expensive being scalped, and then it's like boom, 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 falling down to the bottom like they always do. $98, that's a steal. That's a steal. If you want to buy in and keep these for a year or two, this is your time. This is your time. Buy now, $98. You might wait a couple weeks. It might even drop a little lower once EBO2 comes out. People won't even care about this set anymore, and that'll be the new hotness, and you'll have your time to strike if that's what you want to do. But I'm not gonna. I can't. I have my giveaway box and just sitting there, and it's calling to me. You know what I mean? I went and bought a box today, an extra box, but I had to make a video. You guys will see that video probably before this one comes out, and that's going to be a really fun video. I think you guys will really enjoy it. And it's another one of these unfortunate videos where I'm testing a way that you can find out what cards are in the packs. And yeah, so I don't want to spoil too much about it, but you guys are going to see that soon. So that'll probably be out before you see this video. But yeah, that's all the sets out right now. Of course, there's pre-release prices for EBO2, but I don't count those. They're in the upwards of $200+ right now. And then OP11 is right around the corner as well. So right now it is the Sunday before EBO2 week. So shipping probably starts on the 5th, and most of your local game stores will have those around Friday. So my local game store is going to have them Friday. I'm going to go in there and pick up as many boxes as I can, probably 5 boxes. Hopefully they can do that for me. If not, as many as they'll allow me. And then we're going to do a live stream, and I have a couple video ideas, things we need to do. We need to do a weighing video, maybe a couple weighing videos to ensure, because apparently, if you guys are still here, you're a real one. Thank you for enjoying my content. And apparently Bandai has partnered with the same people that helped Pokemon with their weighing problem of weighing packs. So apparently it's something to do with the glue that they use to glue the packs together. And that's what makes the differentiation in the weight of the packs. And that's how Pokemon did it. I thought that it was the weighted code cards, but apparently that has nothing to do with it. So that's very interesting to find out. And hopefully it works, because not that I don't love doing the weighing videos, and not that you guys don't like seeing the weighing videos, but I'm more concerned about the community, and people getting ripped off online. Not everybody is as invested in this kind of thing as me and you. watching these videos and experimenting and stuff and doing this stuff to find out the truth. But if there's a way someone could use this information as nefariously, they will, and they are, you know. And I found out this through the grapevine from hearing other people are doing this nefariously, and that's how I found out about it in general. So, you know, that's a scary thought. People are, you know, some mom wants to buy some packs online for her son, and she buys them on eBay, and they're all weighed out, and he gets nothing, and boohoo, he cries, and everything's horrible, and that sucks. That sucks. And hopefully Bandai is going to rectify that. Unfortunately, all their card games are weighable. I've already done weighing videos on both a couple of different sets of their Union Arena. So, and those are all weighable as well, fortunately. So, at least to the SR, you know. And that's the same with One Piece. You can weigh out to the SR, and then you'll have, you know, more than half of your box that someone could sell off. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying you shouldn't do that. You're a scumbag if you do that. But you know, those videos aren't to show you that you can do it. They're to show you that people are doing it to you, and to save you from the heartache of buying, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of product that you're not going to get anything you want. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be making more videos like this, discussion videos, and things like this. I'm going to be keeping my eye and my finger on the pulse of One Piece from here on out. I want to see new products before they come out, and even products. I'm going to start. I want to do a video on stuff that they're coming out with in Japan, because they're coming out with some cool stuff in Japan, and sometimes we get it out here, and sometimes we don't. Why, Bandai? Why? Give it to us, man. Those tins that they came out with out here, cool. I like them. I think they're way cooler than the double boxes, right? You got 2 packs in there, plus the thing, plus the cool tin. I think that's way cooler and smaller and easier to ship, and you get more of them in a case of them. But the tins they had in Japan had alt arts in them, like really cool ones that we don't get out here. Like, stop doing that. Give us all the same thing, you dastardly fiends. I want it. I need it, but I need it in English. Anyways, that's enough ranting for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This gives us a baseline from here on out. If any market watch videos we do, we can go back and see where the market is taking us. If things take a turn for the worst, I'll make a video. If things take a turn for the best, I'll make a video. So look forward to that. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're new here, I hope I earned your subscription today. And if not, make sure you go to one of those giveaway videos, and maybe I'll earn it that way. I hate to buy your love, but you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. But I hope you guys enjoy the videos and see what I'm trying to do here with this channel. And I appreciate you all. Until next time, guys, stay safe, keep that smile on your face, and I will see you in the next one. Chase out.